Hi friends, Ashley from Wildwoods&Homestead. I put together a little video sharing some of the things that we do whenever we are sick. I wasn't really sure how to do this video. I didn't know if I should get a bunch of supplements out on the table and talk about each supplement, or if I should just talk about what I did for this specific virus that we recently had running through our house. And I decided to just talk about this particular virus because I could have an entire table full of supplements and have a good reason for each supplement. But I also know that not everyone can afford that, and many times we can't even afford that. So instead, I'm just going to share a streamline protocol that I've been doing for years and some staple supplements that I try to keep on hand when we can afford them and why we do that. We also just try to eat really well. I try to put most of our nourishment from our food and not supplementation. I'm just starting with this cough and cold syrup here. All I do is slice some onions and garlic and put those in a jar and then sprinkle it with some cinnamon, clove, and ginger, and then top it with some honey. I then I cover it and allow it to sit overnight so that all of the juices from the onion mix with the honey and all of those really lovely antiviral spices that I put in there, and it's going to make a nice thick cough syrup that I will share at the end of this video. When you're sick, depending on what kind of sickness it is, I think that food is so important. It can be so comforting, and I do aim to try for more healing foods, soups and stews, lots of bone broth, things like that. But I also try to do something a little bit sweet because I think it's just very nice to have something comforting, and sometimes something that's a little bit sweet might help to settle an upset tummy, depending on, if you're dealing with a little bit of nausea or just in general upset stomach or just not feeling well. I just think something that's warm and comforting, like a rice pudding, for example, is really nice to have on hand. So in this video, I am making a nice nourishing chicken soup with some chicken stock that I made. And I'm also making a rice pudding, and I'll just talk a little bit about what I'm putting into these foods to just help to nourish our bodies and help our immune systems. But before I get to that, I will just share a few things that I like to keep on hand regularly. And I'm going to start with apple cider vinegar. I am not entirely sure why this works, but if my kids start to run a fever, I will take some apple cider vinegar and just rub that on the bottom of their feet. I think it just maybe has something to do with the fact that apple cider vinegar has probiotics and enzymes. It's acidic and it's full of B vitamins, and I suspect it just goes, into the body, gets into the bloodstream, and it just helps to fight off that virus. So that's one of the first things I'll do is just rub some apple cider vinegar on the bottom of my kids' feet, especially if they're running a fever. The second thing that I keep on hand is castor oil, and I will buy castor oil in a dark brown bottle. And castor oil is really good for detoxifying and for breaking things up. So we will rub this on our chest, on our backs, also on our tummies. And I will do castor oil packs for my kids to help keep them regular and just to help to detoxify their body. I read somewhere that most viruses reside in the gut, so you don't want to be dealing with constipation. And I know that can be really difficult with children. Sometimes they're not wanting to drink as much or eat as much. So I will do these castor oil packs by pouring some castor oil on their tummy, rubbing it in a clockwise, circular motion. Make sure there's quite a bit of it on their tummy, and then cover that with a cotton cloth and then a towel, and on top of that towel, I will put a warm water bottle, and it's just one of those old-fashioned water bottles that you just fill with hot water, and I will just have them lay down and let all that oil get absorbed into their body, and that just helps with you know, like I said, detoxifying the body and then helping with, you know, digestive issues and things like that. So castor oil, I always have that on hand. As for internal supplements, I always have vitamin D3 because I have read a lot of studies that adequate amounts of D3 just help to keep the immune system strong. So we will definitely supplement with vitamin D3. If you can afford it, I also pair K2 with that because it just helps to get the D3 where it needs to go into the body. And I can write this out, these specific supplements out in the description box of this video. The next supplement that I always have on hand is cod liver oil, and I try to give my children a spoonful of cod liver oil every morning at breakfast. Having a new baby lately, I've been up and needing to rush with our morning work and then get the baby nursing and things like that. So I haven't been doing that as much, but I will try to do that every morning that I can, and we use Carlsons Cod Liver Oil. The other thing I do is I try to cook with a lot of spices, such as like in this rice pudding, I'm putting in some clove and a lot of cinnamon. I'm sweetening it with some honey. I put some vanilla in there. And I really like what Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead says about measuring when she is just putting stuff, when she's cooking. She'll say, I just am measuring with my heart. And that's pretty much what I did. I just put my cooked rice there. I just filled it with some full fat milk, some coconut cream, and then stirred all that around and let it cook till it was nice and thick. And then I added all of those yummy warming spices like the cinnamon and clove and some vanilla and some honey. And that was just a really nice sweet treat to have. For this particular sickness, we had a couple of kids with earaches. So I just wanted to mention what we do for earaches. We have found that structured silver works really well to kill infection, and I can just write out the structured silver that we use, and it's a little bit expensive, but it works really well to kill infection quickly. And we'll just put a drop of that in the ear. This is the syrup that I made, and what I will do is strain out my onion and my garlic and put that into a jar, and I will store this in the refrigerator and just pull it out and give everybody a spoonful at each meal. This next one is acetaminophen, and this is a last resort. This is when your child is really sleep deprived and they're in a lot of pain and they just need something to help them sleep and just kind of take the edge off of those body aches. We only do this when absolutely necessary. It is acetaminophen, however, it's sweetened with agave syrup and it has a couple other ingredients in it. I can't remember what they are, but I will put a link to this in the description box. You can actually find it at Walmart, and it's not like regular acetaminophen with, red dye and sugar and all those corn syrup or whatever it has. So acetaminophen is a last resort when your child just really needs some sleep in order to heal. So I wanted to put that in as well. I hope that you gleaned something useful from this video. I have so many other supplement ideas, supplements that we use for different things. So if you're interested in something like that, just leave a comment and I will do my best to make another video on that.